biological father is Tucker Carlson. And as a huge fan of Dancing with the Stars, he was robbed. He was kicked off the first episode. But people might not know this. You made it to 6th place. And as a matter of fact, they had to change some of the rules to prevent you from proceeding on in the competition. So tell us about your experience.
Well, true story. And I'll tell you the other funny story. So I'd been asked to go on the show starting with right after when I announced that I was leaving the White House. And finally, after about the third time, I called Tucker and his wife, Susie, and I said, hey, listen, I'm actually thinking about doing this. And when I was on the phone with Tucker and he yelled, he goes, hey, Susie, come here. Sean's on the phone. He wants to know about doing this. And Tucker, in pure Tucker form, was just like, no way. This is the dumbest thing you've ever asked me. And Susie was like, absolutely, you got to do it. You got to do it. And so I credit Susie for my experience. I had a blast. So I think, look, I really enjoyed myself. It was a fun thing. I'm a horrible dancer, as you saw.
But you made it to 6th place. You kept on advancing.
What? Here's the thing. This is the thing you have to understand, Alex. I'm a horrible dancer, but I'm a good campaigner. And half of the vote comes from the judges, and half comes from the people. And you know, when I did the show and they explained the rules to me, I said, great. I know that the judges aren't going to vote for me because I am artistically challenged, to put it mildly. But I know that I know how to campaign. That's my background. And so I ran a campaign. I had T-shirts, yard signs. I'm not kidding. I literally made a campaign commercial, and I spent, while everyone else on Mondays was out there doing like yoga and spins and working out, I was working the phones. I was doing radio interviews and putting out tweets and Instagram videos and mobilizing people. I mean, you know, so I realized that, you know, the goal was to figure out how many votes you could get. And I did everything I could to make it happen.
Well, so, Sean, you might not know this about me, but I have a long history in reality TV, especially competition reality TV, and they all say it's fake. So, you know, I mean, I know it's a dancing competition, it's a little different, but do you think it was fake? Do you think that people were, you know, got to advance past you because of the producers? Like, how legit was the competition, in your opinion?
Well, I mean, I think if you saw my scores, you know, that they weren't fake. I think there's no way. Look, maybe towards the end that they definitely, to the extent that did they give somebody maybe a song or a dance that they think is in their wheelhouse, maybe, right? So that they know what you're going to excel at, so that they give you they try to give you a leg up in that well. But there's only so much that they can do, because if they were caught cheating, it would be the end of it. So I think that to the extent that they knew what would appeal to the audience or what would garner sympathy maybe or do well. But there were definitely some shocks in our season. But there's no question. I mean, look, I don't think it takes a genius to figure out that The Bachelorette do really well every season. You know, for the most part, there's a little bit of a system to it. And so I don't know. I think some shows are different than others. But look, I felt pretty confident in the system. Quick, the night I got kicked off the show, I called the White House to tell him. I said, Mr. President, thanks for your support. I got kicked off. The first thing he says to me, he goes, was it rigged? And I said,
and you said yes. You should have said yes. You need to sue them, put them in the gulag, Guantanamo Bay.
You are no Fred Astaire. And I said, you're right, Mr. President. By the way.
I'm so fly, I'm aligned with the planes. My grind so refined, I got no time for no games. Ask yourself.